Hey, come on in, you guys. What up? God bless you. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, you guys, for popping on and inviting your followers and your networks, you guys. Good morning to you. So boy, thank you. Taylor H, what's up? Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. I got a good scope today. So this is a great time. Hey, Breesha. Good afternoon from Detroit. Come on in. And as you guys come in, be sure to invite your followers and your networks. Just set up. Sway, my legs are okay. They just okay. Okay. I want to share this scope on how Periscope changed my life and the course of my destiny. And so, Penny, Monique. What up, Miss Jackson? Thank you. Hey, Prophet Dave. I'm going to be calling you Prophet Dave. I got to talk to you. All right. So, you guys, this is a good chance. Hey, Miss Ron Banks. Come on, somebody. Invite them followers. Come on, somebody. Get me them followers. Welcome, first timers. Welcome. Hey, Denise. I love you, woman of God. As you guys come on, be sure to do me a favor and tap the right screen periodically to show me some love and to give me some hearts, okay? That's number one. Number two, as it gets good to you, you guys, and you feel that my information that I'm sharing will be a blessing to those in your news feed, and you feel that they can catch it, be sure to invite your followers and your networks, okay? I would appreciate that. And also, let's just set the preliminaries really quick. I'm Sophia Ruffin. I'm the author of the book From Point Guard to Prophet, okay? I've been ministering and bringing awareness, dealing with the spirit of homosexuality. Thank you, Elder Stacy. God bless you. I've been exposing the power of darkness, and I've been talking about some stuff many people don't want to hear and some stuff many people don't want to talk about. But guess what? I got jurisdiction, you guys. God has raised me up for such a time as right now. Hey, AP Callis, I love you, bro. And so I've been spitting the truth of what God has put in my spirit. And so I do want to set the preliminaries, you guys, for people who get on here and they say, oh my God, Sophia, you too loud. Can you turn your volume down? No, I cannot, because what I'm passionate about and when I get stirred up and excited, it just come out. And so I do give you an opportunity to turn your volume down. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Thank you, Reese. My little nose is just sweating. And when y'all read my book, Point Guard to Prophet, you will understand this thing. Hey, Prophetess Watson, why my nose be sweating and stuff like that. Taylor H, blessings, so boy. Thank you, Kim, y'all. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to talk about how Periscope have changed my life and the course of my destiny. Okay, and so, right, turn your volume down. So, I want to give just how the power of time and chance is powerful. That comment went so fast. The power of social media is powerful, and how God will put the right people at the right time in the right place to be a blessing to your life and to your destiny. And so I do want to talk about and just share you guys some insight on how God just allowed me to be at the right place at the right time, saying the right stuff. And so I want to walk you through the power of Periscope and how Periscope has been a launching ministry for me and has opened the doors to many new things in my life, and how God have literally brought me out of the cave and brought me from behind the scenes and have launched me. And so many prophetic words went forth concerning 2016. And about how this was going to be a year of launching, and it was going to be a year of suddenlies, and how God was going to elevate some people, and this was going to be a year of new. And so I really, truly trusted the word of God for 2016. I believed it. I took it at his word. Yes, and I received that, Roland, that I have not seen nothing yet. I really received that. And I really, truly received the word of the Lord when the prophets prophesied. And I know that they are prophetic. I grab those words, you guys, and I take it. I work over it. I pray and I intercede. And I remind God that his servants, the prophets, have revealed some secrets. And so I really respond to the word. And so I just want to take you through a series of the ripple effect on how it has changed my life. And so Sophia doesn't block. No, I don't block you guys because I be distracted. So, you know, I really don't pay them any attention. Okay. Hey, Apostle Fuller. And so let's talk about this. Many people have asked me, have I always been ministering? Dr. Alexis recently spoke with us in Oklahoma. She spoke highly of you. Awesome. Yes, definitely. I would love to come. And she's a part of this launching that I'm about to talk about. So let me tell you guys how important it is to be in the timing of God, and how important it is to not be swayed by the opinions of others. And so when Periscope first came out, I was very intimidated by Periscope. I was scared to get on Periscope because I felt like I don't know what to say, and I didn't really understand it, so I was afraid of it. So for a while, I did not get on Periscope. I actually got on Periscope in November. And so many people ask me how long had I been preaching and things like that, and I tell them since 2000. I was ordained in 2011, and I've been preaching and ministering, and I was on more so like the local level where I would get invited to certain churches, certain women conferences and youth conferences, but I was just going from one local arena to the next. So I've been ministering since 2011, you guys, and so I guess I was just hidden, put it like that. I was hidden, and who I was hidden. And so, hey, Darnella, hey, Sonia Renee Boyd, I want to share this part. So I had a friend who said to me, Sophia, you need to get on Periscope. Hey, Kiana. And I said, I am not getting on no Periscope. Those people be doing the most. Like, I didn't understand it. And she said, no, won't you get on Periscope? And her name is Keisha. She's a member of my church. She said, won't you get on it? And I said, okay, I'm going to get on it. And so when I got on in November, you guys, I didn't broadcast, but I watched people as they broadcast, and the two people I followed was Dr. Matthew Stevenson and Apostle John Eckhart. So if you get on Periscope and you a beginner, I immediately launched and started watching two incredible men of God who just seemed like, man, they made it look so easy, and they were dropping bombs and nuggets. And after that, I was like, there's no way I'm getting on Periscope. But I really enjoyed watching those two broadcasts, and I was just like, okay. And so then I started watching my brother, Prophet Isaac. And I'm like, my God, like, I don't measure up to these people on Periscope. Periscope appeared to be very intimidating. And I was scared to death, you guys. I was scared to death. And so one day I decided I'm going to try to get on Periscope while I was at work. And so I got on, and the only thing you could see was my nose, like my nose. I was looking all like this, and I kept saying, hey, everybody, but nobody came on. Like, nobody came on. And I was like, hey, everybody, come on in, everybody. And nobody came on. And so I was like, man, I don't like Periscope. And so I felt rejected, but I didn't know I didn't have any followers. So I'm telling people to come on in here, like Apostle John, who immediately thousands of people was flooding him. And he didn't even have to say, come on in. He just got on and people came in, right? So I was like, okay, come on in. I'm talking to myself. So I was like, forget this Periscope. This stuff must be for the people who already have platforms. And so the enemy really started tormenting me and making me feel that you cannot create a platform, that really people who were successful on Periscope, I thought, in my opinion, they already had an established platform. And so I got on and I immediately erased it. And so what I did was I started searching And I think I went on Prophet Isaac's because he didn't know I was his friend and how much I loved him. He didn't know how much I admired the anointing on his life, but I did. Okay, so I went on his Periscope because we had a lot of mutual friends, and I started following a whole bunch of people. And then all of a sudden, a few of my friends started following me. So I got on and I was getting on, but one or two people would pop up, and it was just like very challenging, you guys. And so many times I wanted to quit. I never kept a broadcast up for 24 hours because nobody came and watched my replays. Like, nobody. And so I remember the Lord saying to me, he said, Sophia, this is not about who's listening. He said, but I'm trying to give you some experience and take you to the next level. And it's not about who's watching you. Just minister my word and do it. And so all of a sudden, I just got on there and I started just prophesying. And like it'd be 3 people. And so I kept on doing it. And so late in November, at this time, I had built up, I had got comfortable, you guys. I would get on there, I would prophesy my heart out, whether or not it was 5 people or 7 people. I was going hard. I was sweating bullets. I was getting on every morning in my car when I was on my way to work. At that point, I had decided that if somebody is meant to hear me, then God will cause them to tap into my Periscope. If not, I wanted to be faithful over a few and show God that no matter if it was 2 people or 3 people, I was going to give my best, and it did not matter. And so I cut off the opinions of others when some of my friends or people who knew me would say, why you get on Periscope and nobody get on there? You get on Periscope too much. See, people in your circle can knock you and hinder you if you get swayed by their opinions. And so I was getting frustrated because people who supposed to have been endorsing and supporting me was sort of like sneak dissing. They were sneak dissing, you guys, and I'm just being honest. I don't like a person who sneak diss, and they were sneak dissing, and I was getting discouraged, but I kept persevering. I kept pushing. And so one day I was on my way on the lunch break, and when I was on my way to my lunch break, I pulled over. I was by Busio's in Homewood. Look, going to get a salad. And a prophetic came on me like never before. And I started feeling the winds changing. And it was like the atmosphere had shifted. And I said, oh my God. I took my lunch. I pulled over on the side of the road, you guys. And I said, I'm about to Periscope this prophetic word about the changing of the winds. I mean, it was like so prophetic in the atmosphere, and it was like I became pregnant with a prophetic word that I was like, I gotta get this out. And I got on Periscope. It was probably about 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and when I got on, I was going hard. I had like 17 people on that scope, but I was prophesying with power. I was commanding the winds, the climate, the atmosphere to shift, and I was just going clean in. And all of a sudden, 17 people went to like 75 people. And I'm like, wow. But I did not get distracted by the increase in the number. I just kept prophesying because at that moment I had hit a prophetic vein, and I was just like, I don't care who on here. Come on, somebody. I just started prophesying with power and commanding the winds to bow. I was talking about the 4 winds of the earth was going to bow and begin to move in our direction, and the winds was blowing like a tsunami wind. And so I just kept pouring out and pouring out. Hey, SN Gardner. And so immediately when I got off that scope, I was like, oh my God, I had like 150 people on that scope. Hey, God's Deaf Poet, I'm glad you got on. I had 150 people on that scope, right, you guys? So I was like, oh my God, I went from 5 people to 150 people was on my scope. I'm in my car by myself. If anybody know me, my personality is like this all the time, period, point blank. I'm the same all the time. I was like, oh my God, 150 people. So I was shaking like a leaf, you guys. I was like, because all of a sudden, I started getting followers. I went from like 20 followers that day to almost 100. And I was like, man, let me go watch the replay, because whoever got on my scope have to be a person of influence, because there's no way that I can go from 17 people to over 100 people. So let me go watch the replay and find out who was on my scope. And so I hurried up. I watched the replay, you guys. And all of a sudden, I seen God's Deaf Poet. And I was like, whoa, I watch her all the time. Like, she was, at that point, she was one of my favorite female scopers, because I liked her energy. I liked her tenacity. I just liked how she flowed. Like, I admired the anointing on her life. And I was like, whoa, God's the poet. Like, she was commenting everything, but because I had hit a vein, I didn't recognize that she had invited followers. I didn't recognize who she was, and I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't want to be intimidated or distracted, because I knew that she was so excellent at scoping. And so I didn't recognize who she was until the end of that scope, and I just was like, oh my God, this girl was on my scope. And then she followed me, and I was like, I really felt, because listen, you guys, even though we are on here, and you just honor the gift that's on people's lives, and even though she's normal, she's cool, and she's regular, she just it was a place of honor that I had on her gift and the anointing. And when I talked to her, to make a long story short, it was just by chance. Listen, she told me she had never heard me, and she happened to get on, and by chance, she shared me before she heard anything I said. That was ordained by God. And so when I seen that, I was excited. I was like, oh my God, God's Deaf Poet was on my scope. I was trying to call people, but that wasn't it, you guys. So after that, I started getting all these followers. So I said, well, let me see who my new followers are. Because remember, I only had about 17 or 20 followers. Come on, somebody. So when I looked, I seen Apostle John Eckhart. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, this gotta be a mistake. Surely this man ain't following me. Like, what I got to say that he's interested in hearing? Come on, somebody. I'm being for real. I'm like, wait. Not the man I watched for like a month and I was intimidated. Listen, wait, let me go check his followers to make sure that my phone not messing up and I'm tweaking. I thought I was tweaking. I'm like, Apostle John following me? Wait, hold up. This man ain't even following 10%. What up, Michelle J. Miller? I said, this man ain't even following 10% of his followers, but he following Sophia Ruffin? Okay. So I started looking at who he following, and I was like, wow. So listen, I couldn't even finish my work. I literally had to take a half a day, because I jumped out my car, I ran around my car, and it wasn't anything that intentionally went in my mind other than what a miraculous honor, because that man ain't following everybody. Come on. He's not. Period, point blank, you guys. And I felt like that was an honor about that. And so I ran around my car. I called my brother-in-law. I called my sister. I called my mama. I said, y'all not gonna believe what just happened to me. I started crying in the car. I started thanking God. Let me tell you why. Because in the midst of me prophesying about the winds changing, they had truly changed. And I was prophesying to myself, and God blew in a dynamic encounter, because Alexis Matson, she shared me like just spontaneously, but I was faithful, you guys. And then when she shared me, that's how Apostle Eckhart somehow got on. I don't know what he heard, how much he heard, but he didn't just give me hearts. The man followed me. Look, I was just undone. So when he followed me, I was blown away, you guys. And so I started getting on Scope, and I was just doing what I had began to do. I was in my car and I was doing my scopes, and all of a sudden I started just getting more people that was following me, and more people was coming on. And so it started really building my confidence and my ability to scope. I started developing my own swag. Come on. I didn't try to be like Dr. Alexis Matson. I found Michelle J. Miller. I fell in love with the ministry on her life. Then I found Tamara Hicks. I fell in love with their anointings, but I never ever tried to be like any of them. I was just like, they are powerful, but I felt like originality was who I was, and I just got on with my own swag, my own personality, my own sayings. Who I was began to develop. And so, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. And so immediately after that, I want to get to this point, you guys. So I kept on scoping, and, you know, I started developing my own followers. People started following me, and I started, you know, kind of getting a little good at it, okay? And so then in January, I'll never forget, I was invited to speak at the Martin Luther King thing for my community, and it was an honor to speak to the leadership and governmental leaders that was in our community. It was like a 5-minute thing. And so we scoped that event, you guys. And so later that evening, I was like, well, I'm not going to scope today, because people already say, if you get on more than one time, why she on scope, and why she got to talk like that, she too loud. Listen, I'm not talking about trolls. I'm talking about people that's supposed to be your friend, and people that's supposed to be, you know, the ones that support you. Period, point blank. So I was like, well, I'm not going to get on scope this evening, although I had a very strong prophetic word. And so it was about 7 o'clock that evening. The Holy Ghost was like, get up, release that word about the spirit, the new season, new footprints, new identifications, and new things happening. And so I got on Periscope, and I started periscoping that word. And all of a sudden I seen Send Apostle 1. I seen his little picture, and he was on there. He was like, prophesy, prophesy. I'm like, my God, he on my scope. Come on, somebody. And then not only on my scope, but he's coming on my scope. Wow. I was honored. And before I knew it, I had probably like 50 people on there at that time, and I was going hard. Before I knew it, he invited his followers, and I had like 500 people. I was like, whoa, this getting deep. This getting too deep. Like, God, what are you doing? And so I had like 500 people that was live, and I'm prophesying, and I'm going for it. And so after that was over, I got off the phone, and I was like blown away. I was just undone, you guys. I danced, I shouted, I watched the replay, I watched Apostle John. I kept rewinding because I had wanted to keep seeing what he was saying. Like, when he get on, come on, just tell the truth. Tell the truth. We all got our role models and people we like. And even right now, this is a good time to invite your followers, people, because I'm about to share a little bit more of how Periscope changed my life. So if you're on here, please share with your followers. And so after that, I was just like, Apostle Eckhart. So then I ended up going, he was ministering somewhere in like Blue Island. And I called my friends. I said, listen, I don't care. I'm getting there an hour early. I'm going to hear Apostle John. I need to meet this man, because I had the book Derouting Demons, and I had prayed that prayers, and I knew of him, and I admired him. And so I went to hear him speak, you guys. And let me tell you, I took out a certain amount of money to sow in the offering, but I had my bank card, my credit card with me or whatever, because I was going to buy some books. And so the man of God preached good. We go to the back where he signed them books, right? And it was called Prophet Arise. And so I'm back there, and I'm with my friends, and we all got bank cards. So I'm like, okay, on this particular day, he ain't even taking bank cards because he had forgot his thing. I guess you only had to have cash. I'm like, oh God, like I need to get this man booked. And so I didn't have enough money. I had like $5 and I'm pulling out some quarters and I'm struggling. The struggle was real. And Apostle John, he was so humble. I'm like, of all moments, I get to get this man book and get it signed. And I ain't got nothing but some quarters. I cannot go up there and hand this man some quarters. I can't do it. So I'm like, can I get $1? Can I get $1? I'm borrowing money for real. So I get the money. And I didn't have enough, and Apostle John, he seen me struggling, and he says this, hey, come here, daughter, don't give me no change. You don't got to give me, put that back. And my heart was beating fast. I'm like, now this is so embarrassing. I wanted to meet Apostle John, and I ain't even got enough money to sow into the book. I was so embarrassed, y'all. I was like nervous. So I gave him the money. He was like, don't give me no change. Don't worry about it. He signed my book. I said, well, then, can I get a picture? He was like, absolutely. I took a picture with him, and I couldn't believe it. And then he said, I said, well, by the way, thank you so much for following me on Periscope. I said, make sure you don't unfriend me, because that'll hurt my feelings. I said something like that. And he was like, nah, you know, I don't follow everybody. He said, it must have been something you said or something he said. And I was like, I was on another spiritual high. Michelle J. Miller, you ought to love your pastor. Ain't that right, Miss Jackson? So you guys, so look at the domino effect. I was pressing. I was at the right place at the right time doing the right stuff. And so after that, I continued to get on Periscope, you guys, and I just want to share how one moment, one connection can literally cause a ripple in your destiny. And once Apostle John shared me on Periscope, in one night, I had 1,500 new followers. 1,500. My phone was blowing up all night long for 24 hours because people was watching his replay, and he was recommended that they follow me. He one day got on his scope and he was like, listen, you know, he was saying something to me and mentioned my name. He mentioned my name, and I couldn't even comment because about 40 people started following me just by him saying my name. And so I want to share with you guys that the right person can launch you, and the right person can take you to the next level. That can launch you overnight. It was amazing. And so I got like 1,500 followers. Now I was starting to develop my own name, my own reputation, my own ministry. And so, to make a long story short, I want to get to some punchlines. Some of the things that happened because Apostle John launched me on Periscope, and because Lexis Masson was at the right place at the right time, she helped launch me. It opened up some tremendous doors. I went to Hot Springs, Florida in April, and when I tell you these people, they blessed me beyond understanding that I was able to just cold turkey pay for my whole publishing process. I was able to pay for all of that because the blessing was beyond my imagination. And the first thing they said was they found me through Apostle John, and if Apostle John would share me and would invite them, they knew that I had the right spirit because his endorsement of just clicking share launched me. And they flew me in and flew one other person in. They treated me well, and the honor that they placed on me, the seed they sowed in my life was more than I was making, that I could have made doing working 2 weeks, 80-hour shift. They sowed into my ministry. And so immediately after that, when I was done preaching in April, they booked me for April for next year. And so then after that, more people started saying, I found you through Apostle John. I found you through Alexis Masson. I found you through Michelle J. Miller. And so it was like a ripple effect. And then all of a sudden, CBN was on my Periscope. A producer from CBN was on my Periscope, and I was sharing my testimony on Periscope, and she followed me for a few weeks, and she made contact with me, and she said, wow, we need your story on CBN 700 Club. Club. And so what she did was connected, and she found me because somebody shared me. And so now I'm still waiting on the full process, because it do take an extended process for the CBN 700 Club. But my story will be heard all over the world. My name will be known. God will make your name known throughout the earth. And so because of Periscope, CBN found me a producer. They connected with me, and that changed my life. And then my book, Point Guard to Profit, was supposed to come out in September of 2016, but because of Periscope and the followers, the influence, the endorsement, many people saying, wow, can you get this done faster? And my publisher, we had known each other, but he didn't know I was a preacher. He didn't know I was writing a book, and he reached out to me and told me that he was willing to publish me. And now I got an amazing publisher who always produces bestsellers. And so my book that was supposed to come out in September will be released this month, and my book signing is going to be June 17th. And so not only did I write a book in 10 days, but because of endorsement, because of Periscope, and because of each of you, hey, Devin Mays, my best friend, because of each of you, you have launched me and pushed me to do something that I couldn't have done overnight. Periscope launched me. The Holy Spirit said it's an urgency. I wrote my book in 10 days, and my book will be heard all over the world. It will be in the UK. It will be in Bonn. It will be all over. You can order it from anywhere. So my book got launched from September all the way to this month. Then my publisher contacted me and said, he see that I'm talking about homosexuality awareness. I'm doing deliverance ministry and stuff. He said, we need to work on a workbook. I'm going to help you put that together. I wouldn't have had the money to pay for a publisher if I would not have had an opportunity to minister, and one speaking engagement set the record where I was able to pay for all of my publishing stuff. All right, listen, you guys. So after that, let me tell you, I went from preaching on the local level, from going here and there. Now, my book, hey, Prophet Hugo, God bless you, man of God. Thank you for following me. I love your ministry, and just bless you, sir. And so immediately after that, let me tell you what happened. CBN, the book. I'm traveling, you guys, where I was waiting on people in the neighborhood to open the door for me, and people, going to this church and that church. Now, all of a sudden, I got an itinerary. Really? Like, an itinerary? Thank you. An itinerary. I have an itinerary. People are asking where you're going to be next. And so now I'm going to be, I preached at Apostle Ron Wilson's church. A church that I always admired and looked up to, and just the opportunity, he opened up his platform. I had an opportunity to meet Kathy Summers. I was able to prophesy and minister to the praise and worship team of Crusaders. Come on, somebody. Apostle George Guilford, they're getting me to their ministry. I'm connecting with some people. Apostle Matthew Stevenson, he mentioned me on one of his scopes, and I had over 700 followers immediately just by that man saying, follow Sophia Ruffin. Apostle K, I'm developing new friendships with leaders, and with men and women of God of integrity. And so now I got new friendships. Kathy Summers, Apostle K, come on, somebody, Michelle J. Miller, people who, Taylor, Lola, Dion. I meet amazing people. Okay, so I want to tell you guys and encourage you. So now I'm going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio in May. I'm going to do the Sex Wars Conference in June. I'm going to do my book signing in June. I'll be in Detroit in July. There's a television opportunity that Apostle Sonia is trying to connect me with when I come in July to a deliverance conference. I'll be at a conference called Unleashed in July with Dr. Veronica Krim. In August, I'll be in Houston, Texas with Apostle Phyllis Fuller doing ministry. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee in August. In September, I'll be in Austin, Texas with Alexis Matson and her team. In September, I'll be back in Florida with Prophetess Kenya Allen. And then there's still connections that I'm finalizing and trying to connect. So, I just wanted to say, you guys, how the power of Periscope changed my life. When I got on, I was a person that got on and I was afraid. I was intimidated. I was scared to death. I had 5 followers and now I'm over 6,500 followers. And see, it's the power of endorsement. Now, Alexis Masson, Apostle John, Apostle Matthew Stevenson, Apostle K, they shared me. Michelle J. Miller, they shared me, you guys. But then I had to develop my own platform. Now, I was able, Prophet Isaac Watson, my brother, he faithfully shares me, you know, and so, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been a support. I want to encourage you guys that, you know what, God will open up platforms and opportunities. When I got on Periscope, I got on just to share something. I did not get on. Some people get on with a spirit of opportunity. If you get on with a spirit of opportunity, Lola, Dr. Calissa, the ripple effect. If you get on with a spirit of opportunity and you don't have a pure heart, you're going to miss God. I got on just want to be genuine, and God opened the door. Some people that got to ask people, if you got to inbox somebody and ask them to endorse you, that's not of God. You're trying to make it happen on your own. If you mad because somebody don't share you, that's not of God. Do I get on every time and think every time I get on that somebody like, you know, Apostle John, Matthew Stephen, Alexis Masson, when Michelle J. Miller, Prophet Isaac, every time they get on, do I think they supposed to share me every time? No. If you only get on, some people get on Periscope, and if they don't see the right people that gets on, that can invite followers, they get right off, and they miss God. And I also want to say, do not be swayed by the opinions of people that's in your circle. People in your circle will not understand the season that you're in. They will not understand, and it could be the very people that are connected to you that will make you miss God. And so, I just want to say thank y'all. I love y'all. Periscope launched me because it was the being at the right place at the right time, saying the right stuff, and my life has been a ripple effect. I walked out of my 9 to 5 in February, you guys, when God said, let it go. I got plans for your life, and I wrote my book in 10 days, and I have not suffered. Not one day have I suffered. I still pay my bills on time. I've been actually having more money than I've had since while I was working. I love y'all, for real. People have just spontaneously sold into my life, sold into my ministry, that have been a blessing. So I just want to tell y'all, it's a ripple effect when you are in the timing of God and you got a pure heart. Now, some people get on here, Prophet Isaac, you know that. People get on here with the wrong motives. They get on here looking for a speaking engagement. To me, this is my speaking engagement. I tell people every day when they ask you, where you going to be next? On Periscope. What's your next engagement? Periscope. Come on. Michelle J. Miller. People be like, when you go? Oh, and then I got my passport, you guys, because I'm going to the nations with my mentor. I'm going to the nations, Prophet Dave. I never been to the nations. I told everybody, I was cool in America. I wasn't trying to go to the nations. Ain't that right, Devin? I love my best friend. And see, when people invite me, I don't travel alone because I'm a single woman. My best friend travels with me. She travels with me. So people see it. My sister and my mother getting to travel with me in May. Right, Prophet Hugo. People be like, where you gonna be at next? Periscope? I mean, what? Periscope. This is the platform. The earth, the whole earth, moans and groans for the sons and daughters of Yahweh to be revealed. This is a perfect platform for the earth to get some rest from its moaning and groaning, because there's a tribe that's rising up that is making sure that the sons and daughters of Rusalalabosha is being revealed. I'm telling you, Periscope will cause your words. I done been to multiple nations already, and I ain't have to physically fly. Why? Because the nations will get on to hear the word of the Lord. You've had people from Australia, from Africa, all over the world, Sweden, Sudan, tuning in. I done been all over the world, and I ain't went nowhere. So Thank you so much, Space Kid. I just want to bless you guys and encourage you that no matter what, do not allow intimidation. I got you hype, Prophet Hugo. Look, we all over the world. We are the nations. We are the nations. God's word there's a speed and there's a momentum on the word of God. And so voices are rising up at a critical moment, a critical hour where people are going to rise up and start prophesying and declaring the word of the Lord. Testimonies are coming forth. Why? God has added speed and momentum through the power of technology to cause his word to hit the earth. And I believe that prophets are rising up and the whole earth going to be able to rest from moanings and groanings, because I know I'm a prophet that said, God, reveal me as a true daughter of the Most High God where the earth can get some rest. The reason why the earth has been in turmoil and has been moaning and groaning and crying out, because there has not been no revelation of the true sons and daughters of Yahweh. And you are a son and daughter of the King. And if God has told you to use Periscope to launch, to be a platform, and to be an engagement, many of y'all waiting on your preacher to ordain you, slap oil on you, and approve you. If God be for you, who could be against you? God has called you. He have chosen you. He have ordained you. Get on here and share your story. Testify. You may not get on here and know how to prophesy. You may not know the word of the Lord, but you got a story, and your testimony will cause other people to overcome, and you will shake the powers of darkness. Why? Because you getting on here with a story. I encourage y'all. Share your story, share your testimony, terrorize the power of darkness, terrorize the demonic kingdom. Get on here and share your story and bring glory and honor to the kingdom on how God brought you out. And I prophesy a ripple effect over your life, over your destiny, that you're going to be at the right place at the right time doing the right stuff. When I started out, I had 5 followers that were faithful. Now I'm over 6,500. Why? Because God honors faithfulness, and God will plant the right person at the right time to launch your destiny. I prophesy a ripple effect over you. I decree and declare that 2016 is going to be a ripple effect. There's going to be a launching. Your life going to be a domino effect. Your life is about to be changed. Your life is about to drastically go to another level. I prophesy your increase is about to be maximized. I prophesy that your relationships are about to be increased, that God is going to set you up and going to connect you with men and women of God that got influence. He's going to connect you with apostolic generals. He's going to connect you with pioneers. He's going to connect you with trailblazers. It's time for you to get away from the folks that keep pulling you down. Get away from the naysayers. Shake off those that are stagnant and stuck, that ain't going nowhere. Get around folks that can progressively push you, launch you, and cause a ripple effect over your destiny. And I hear the Lord saying there's going to be a domino effect. There's literally one connection is going to cause a domino effect in your destiny. And even as I was afraid, what you're afraid of is the very thing that the enemy want to use, fear, to block you and to keep you from doing what God ordained you to do. I prophesy that you will not be afraid of the terror that is sent out. The terror that's sent out against you, the spirit of terror, I break his powers. I command that the fire of God break the spirit of terror off the people of God. I come against panic attacks. I come against the spirit that will tell you you didn't deliver your words right. I come against every spirit that would intimidate you and torment you. I prophesy that this is going to be a season that God is going to put a word in your belly, and you're going to open up your mouth wide, and he's going to fill it. I decree and declare a ripple effect. I prophesy time is in your hand, that time is working for you, and where time has been against you over the years, and you have felt like time has been against you, I break his powers. I command God to break the neck of the enemy off your life. I break the stronghold off your life. I break fear. I release the fire, God, against fear, and I decree and declare that even as you have been unknown, that God is going to make your name known in the earth. I call you forward, Jazetta. I call you forth, Penny. I call you forth, Kenya Allen. I call you forth, Jay Mobley. I call you forth, Rushana. your destiny. Come forth, T.D. McCullough. Come forth in Jesus' name and watch God cause a ripple effect. Come forth, Prophet Dave. Prophet Dave going to a new level. He's going to a new dispensation. The revelation that's in that man of God's mouth, the testimony that's in that man of God's mouth is about to tsunami launch him. This is launching season. This is elevation time. May the rivers of living water stir in a place that you have not seen before. Taylor, come forth. I just released it. Dr. Calissa, come forth in power and demonstration. Let the anointing and the glory of God take you where your finances can't take you, where your current relationships can't take you. Do not be afraid to connect with people in influence and people in high places. Get away from those low level, those low minded, those condemning folks, those religious scholars that will try to put a muzzle over your mouth. I remove the muzzle off your mouth right now in the name of Jesus. I pull the hook up out of your jaws, and I command in Jesus' name that the mouths of the prophets will be open and they will cry loud. They will decree. They will declare. They will announce the coming of the Messiah. They will speak. They will prophesy. And the oil of the anointing going to be on their life like never before. I prophesy new authors, new entrepreneurs, new pioneers, new trailblazers, new engineers. Come on, somebody. This is your time of ripple effect. Your life and your legacy will never be the same. In Jesus' name, I release that. I release it. If you receive the word of God, I just want you to hashtag ripple, 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 ripple. One connection, one connection. God is about making people of authority and putting them in a place of influence. Do not stop because of the naysayers. Do not stop because of your critics. Do not stop because of the judgment and the persecution that follows your apostolic and prophetic office. Do not stop. Do not stop. When people say you suddenly changed, yep, you have. Why? Because God will elevate your mentality and launch you from one level, from a local realm to an international realm. You are called to the nations. So your next speaking engagement, folks, that feel like people ain't opened the door for you and you waiting on somebody, your next speaking engagement is Periscope. And make sure God sends you and have anointed you. Do not do Periscope if you don't do private devotion. If you do private devotion and you are intimate with God, you're going to see a ripple. Do not be intimidated if it's just 5 people on your scope. Do not allow offense to set in your heart if somebody don't share you. It's all good. Ripple. No hater can stop a ripple. Because when that ripple happens, you unstoppable. All right, you guys, be blessed. I'm on my way to the conference. I will be preaching tomorrow night, you guys. I will scope tomorrow night service. I got a word from the Lord that's dealing with healing generational wounds and restoring relationships with mothers and daughters. So tune in tomorrow night, probably about 8 o'clock. I'll be going forth. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys. Be blessed. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at YAGIRL_Soph. I want to say thank you to Dr. Alexis Matson. I love you so much. I can't wait to meet you in person. I want to give a special shout out to Apostle John Eckhart. I love you, man to God. I thank you. I appreciate the humility on your life. I thank you that you are for this generation. You are a great encourager. You are a great supporter. And many people that admire and look up to you. And you are a role model to many. May your days be forever blessed. May the hand of God continue to enlarge your territory, your coast, and your borders. May your life continue to go to new levels. I'm telling you, man to God, you are changing destinies. You are a destiny changer. You are a life changer. And even as you have written, prophet arise, the prophets are arising out of nowhere because of you and your faithfulness. So shout out to Apostle John. We love you and we thank God for you. And we will not despise the small beginnings because God is bringing us into a place of elevation. Thank you, Michelle J. Miller. I love you. Thank you, Prophet Isaac. I thank y'all. Thank you, Prophet Yu. Hugo. Thank you, Apostle Fuller. I mean, I could go on and on to my mentor, Dr. Krim, my apostle, Apostle Lance, Apostle Tim. Come on, Apostle George Guilford, Apostle Ryan Wilson. Look, squad up. Apostle Matthew Stevenson. And my home girl, Apostle K. It's my girl. All right, you guys, be blessed. And I will talk to y'all soon. If you enjoyed this scope, make sure you go on my Facebook. Hashtag Ripple Effect, okay? Ripple Effect on my Facebook. Thank you, Taylor. I love you. And I'm sending you a hug. I'll see about putting it on YouTube, J. Mobley. God bless you guys. Out, I'm still on. I love y'all more. I can't get out. It won't let me out. It ain't done this in a long time. On here.